And welcome to the Trading Pub. Can everyone hear me okay? This is Cam White. Just click a yes or no if you can hear me okay. Excellent. Well, we are having a great week. We've kicked off a week of market commentary for some of the best educators for trading with defined risk on the Nadex exchange. Every morning this week, we featured a different speaker from 8 to 9 Eastern Time. And as a reminder for everyone in the room, this event is being recorded. The TradingPub has also launched a special trading contest this week, and this was a unique trading contest designed to reward trading consistency. We've had many contestants who have been given a $2,000 Nadex demo account, and the goal in this contest was to see if traders can make $80 per day every day for a week. And that's trading consistency. If you can do that, then your demo account will grow from $2,000 to $2,400 or more, which represents better than 20% account growth in just 1 week. Before I get started here really quickly in the room, is there anyone here who has never traded Nadex or is brand new to Nadex? Just type a yes or a no. Have you ever traded Nadex before, or do you trade Nadex? Phil says yes. Briefly, 2 years ago. Well, this morning we also have a special guest backed by popular demand. We're going to have Sean Jantz with us with the Binary Trade Group, and he's going to take a look where the market has been this week and the U.S. indices and what he sees in the markets today. So with that being said, I'm going to get started with my presentation. And if you will, just take a couple of seconds to take a look at our trading disclaimer. Trading binary options involves risk and is not suitable for all investors. You should carefully consider whether trading is suitable for you in light of your circumstances, knowledge, and financial resources. And always remember that past performance is not necessarily indicative of future results. We're going to be trading, we may be taking some trades live. If they are taken live, they're going to be done on a demo account. And that's per instructions from Nadex. And also, for those of you who are new to Nadex, TradingPub provides free education for trading stocks, options, futures, Forex, and Nadex. And this year, we are the first company to publish 2 comprehensive books on Nadex trading strategies, Trading Made Simple and Nadex Warriors. In those 2 books, you're going to find 22 strategies on how to trade Nadex from 9 top trading educators. It's an excellent source if you're brand new to Nadex and you want to find a strategy that sings to your risk-reward style, maybe the time frame you like to trade in, or maybe the asset that you like to trade. About myself, I'm the content manager and a partner relations manager for TradingPub, and I'm also the TradingPub in-house Nadex expert. Essentially what I do every day is I review content that comes in from some of the best speakers on stocks, options, futures, Forex, and Nadex. I edit material, we publish ebooks, on-demand videos, all kinds of information, and it's absolutely free to you. So with all the information that I get in stocks and options and futures and Forex, some of that information is directly applicable to Nadex. And you know, I take a look at something, I go into demo, and if it's a strategy that works particularly well for Forex, it might translate to Nadex. And if I can figure out how to make it work consistently, then I write about it, and it becomes another strategy that we talk about. I have a personal blog called the Inquisitive Trader blog where I break down trades, and I'm a weekly contributor to the Nadex blog site, and I also write for some other financial media outlets. So what is Nadex in a nutshell? When you trade Nadex on the Nadex exchange, you are making a decision about where you think the price of a market will be relative to a strike price within a defined time period of your choosing. Once again, there are 3 elements to this. You're making a decision about where you think the price of a market will settle. Will it be above or below a certain strike price within a defined time period? That time period could be 5 minutes, it could be 20 minutes, it could be on the hour, it could be at the end of the day, or it could be by the end of the week. Nadex binary options have been called yes or no trades. Each trade has a maximum value of $100 per contract traded. This means the absolute most you can win or lose on a trade is $100, and you always know your maximum risk and your maximum reward before you place a trade. Again, you're making a decision about where you think the price of a market will settle relative to a strike price within that defined time frame of your choosing. And as long as that trade is active within that defined time period, you cannot get stopped out. You can hold your trade until expiration and collect a full profit or the maximum reward, or you can exit that position early and lock in profits or minimize losses if a trade is moving against you. So let's take an example of how a binary option will work. It's 12 o'clock noon Eastern Time, and the current price of gold is 11.15, and it's climbing. And let's say you have a high probability strategy that you've been using for trading gold futures. All of your indicators and your experience agree that gold is on an uptrend. It's going to, when the pits close at 1:30, you just know it's going to be above 11.15, maybe 11.18, maybe 11.20, maybe even higher than that. So you go to Nadex and you find the strike price at 11.10. And you're going, there's no way this market's going to settle below 11.10 at 1:30. Well, if you have a really strong strategy and the gold is on a big uptrend, there's a good chance the marketplace of buyers and sellers are going to agree with you. And the marketplace is going to determine that there's a 70% chance possibly that that's going to happen. And if that is the case, then you would be risking $70 on that trade to make $30 on a high probability trade. Now, let's assume that you are a contrarian. Everything about gold is on an uptrend, but you believe there's going to be a reversal and the marketplace will the market for gold futures will actually settle below 11.10 at 1:30 when the pits close. Well, it's currently noon when you're making this decision. It's 11.15 and it's climbing. You think it's going to reverse and go below 11.10. The marketplace of buyers and sellers is going to go, we don't agree with that. And they might determine there's a 30% chance that that reversal is going to happen. If you decide to take that trade, your risk would be $30 to make $70 on a lower probability trade. Does that make sense? It's your opinion of where you think the price of a marketplace is going to settle versus someone who has an opposing viewpoint. And that both of those trades on the buy and the sell side equal $100. And what Nadex does as an exchange is they facilitate that trade. Okay, so I've got a chart here from earlier this week, and this is a 5-minute trade on the pound dollar. And you can see that the market's sort of chopping up and down. It's a little bit range bound. This is a 1-minute chart. So this trade actually has a 5-minute lifespan. And the first candle, the last candle that you see is a bullish candle, and it's sitting right on a Nadex strike price. When you look over to the right side of the chart, you'll see those 4 blue and red boxes. Those are all strike prices with the bid-ask spread, selling and buying. So with the market sitting right here, and this red line here, I'll just sort of define it a little bit more, being the expiration, that's 4 minutes away. Do you think that this market will settle above or below that strike price? Type in an A or a B. I'm trying to make this a little bit interactive. Above or below? Above? Anyone else? Well, at this point in time in the marketplace is evenly split. About 50% of the buyers and sellers believe it's going to go up or it's going to go down. In this particular case, you'd be risking in the area of $50, give or take $1 or $2, to buy the market or to sell the market. So you're risking $50 to make $50 for a one-to-one return. But with Nadex and with binary options, you can trade anywhere on the board as long as there is a market for opinions on where the price will settle. Let's go up to this strike price above the market. Now, most people from using this example would have agreed that they don't think the marketplace actually has enough movement to go from where it is right now to above that strike price within 4 minutes. But if you did think it was going to go above there, the marketplace over here, your risk would be $26 to make $74. And if you believed that the marketplace would stay under this strike price right here, then your risk would be $83 to make 17. And that's basically the price that you're paying for something that has a very high probability of being in your favor. Now let's take a look at the bottom end here. There's another strike price down here. If you believed the marketplace was going to dive below this line, then your risk over here would be $22 to make $78. And if you decided, if you thought that the marketplace was going to settle above this line right here within the next 4 minutes, your risk would be $88 to make 12. So the higher the level of certainty that you're going to be correct, the more risk premium you're going to have to pay. The lower the probability is, the less you pay. And in the two books that I mentioned, there are strategies for at the money, out of the money, where your risk is low, and in the money, where your risk is high of a marketplace going up if you were buying in this example. So let's see how this trade played out. The marketplace settled just below the at the money line. So if you were, that's where it settled right there. So if you sold from the at the money, risking 50 to make 50, you would have been good. And if you sold up here where you were risking $88 or $87, you would have been good. And if you bought from this strike price, risking $88 to make $12, you would have been good. Both of the propositions where you were risking less to make more, the marketplace just did not have the momentum to breach those areas. So that's an example of the decisions that you make doing binary options trades, and it's just important to have a good strategy under your belt, knowing which way the market's going and having a strategy for markets that are trending up, markets that are trending down, or markets that are trading sideways or are range bound. A little bit more about Nadex. Nadex is the North American Derivatives Exchange. It's wholly owned subsidiary of the IG Group, which is listed on the UK FTSE Index. It's headquartered in Chicago, and it is subject to strict regulatory oversight by the CFTC. When you trade with Nadex, you're not trading with a broker. Your orders are placed directly on the exchange. Your member funds are held in a segregated U.S. bank account, and you have full transparency on every trade. When you trade with Nadex, you're trading with someone who has an opinion opposite to yours, just like conventional trading on other exchanges. Nadex does not take positions in the market, so you're never trading against the house. Previously, Nadex was available to legal residents of the United States, Canada, Mexico, and U.S. territories, but as of this year, it is now open in 47 countries. And you can find those countries by going to nadex.com and taking a look at how to open a demo or a live account. So when you place a Nadex binary options trade, everything starts with your opinion on the direction of the market. You have lots of assets you can choose from: forex pairs, stock indices, whether they're U.S. or international, major commodities. Then you drill down to the asset you want to trade, whether it's the pound dollar or the E-mini S&P, gold or crude futures. And the next thing you want to do is select the time frame that you're most comfortable trading in. Do you want to place a trade that expires on a weekly basis, or at the end of the day, or on the hour? For some of the assets, there are 20-minute and 5-minute binary options that are also available. Next, you want to determine, do you want to buy or sell relative to a strike price? You select the number of contracts you want to trade and determine the price that you want to pay for that contract and place your order directly on the exchange. You can let your trade ride until expiration, or you can close your position early, lock in profits, or mint if a trade is moving against you. So how much does Nadex cost? Well, first of all, you can get a 2-week demo for Nadex for free. It's going to be funded with $25,000 in play money. The minimum funding for a live account is $100, and the exchange fees that Nadex charges, this is how they make money, is 90 cents per contract per side. And that's capped at 10 contracts. So if you have 10 contracts times 90 cents to open it up, that's $9, and $9 to close it for an $18 round trip on 10 contracts. And it's capped so that if you traded 20 contracts or 50 contracts or 100 contracts, your exchange fees would still be $18. One of the nicest things about Nadex, in my opinion, is if a contract expires out of the money, you placed a trade, you thought it was going to go well, it moved against you, you didn't close out, and you lost what you put up in risk, you're going to be charged the order execution fee, the 90 cents per contract, to get into the trade, but they will not charge the settlement fee on the back end. And I'm not aware of any other exchange that does that. Usually you're responsible for a round trip commission or fees if you get into a trade on both sides. Couple other things for Nadex resources. TradingPub.com. I'll click on this link. We have a lot of free information, webinars, blog articles that I've written and other people have written. And you just go up to free education, click on Nadex, or if you're a futures or forex trader, we also trade material, publish material on our blog sites. And you can go to any one of these particular strategies, and it'll drill down into that particular topic. I have a tendency to break down a lot of trades that I see. I'll take a look at a strategy, discuss the rules for it, the time frame, and publish the results of that trade so that people can see exactly what was going on, where the order was entered, where it was exited, and what my thought process was during that trade. The probability report is a monthly newsletter that I put out, and it includes a calendar of Nadex webinars, in this case, all the webinars for November this year, and then I drill down into strategies and videos that I've come across. So it's a good educational source. And I also write Monday and Wednesday on Nadex's blog site, and they publish new blogs, postings every day from multiple authors. I'm responsible for submitting content on Monday and Wednesday. And once again, when I see here's one of my posts. I typically show the setup for the trade, what I was thinking, rules of the trade, and how the trade settled. So you can get an idea of how that asset was traded, what the rules were, where the entry, where the exit was, and ultimately how the trade fared out. Quick summary. Are a yes or no proposition. You're trading with limited risk. You always know your risk reward before you place a trade. You have multiple markets you can trade, commodities, indices, forex pairs. You have spike protection. You can trade confidence without the fear of being stopped out. And finally, it's a regulated exchange. It is subject to oversight by the CFTC, and your funds are held in a segregated account. Very easy to deposit and make withdrawals. And now I'm going to pass the floor for the next hour over to Sean Jantz. Sean is the founder of the Binary Trade Group, which is a Nadex education community. And Sean does some very, very unique things. Every night, he posts a YouTube video with his observations of what he thinks the marketplace will do, the markets will do on the next day. He draws up support and resistance lines, where the market has been trading, volume profile. There's a lot of information that he prepares every night and shares with members in his group. His website is the Binary Trade Group, and when you go on there, you can get a free 2-week trial to follow Sean and his group. And today, Sean is going to take a look at the week going back and what he sees in the market today. So, Sean, why don't you come on and join us? Sean, I thought it would be fun to take a look back at the week and see what you've seen on the dailies and the weeklies and how the marketplace has moved and how it moved relative to your battle plans, and then what you might be seeing in today's market. Okay, I see your screen coming up just fine.
Okay, good deal.
I'm going to mute, and Sean, the floor is yours.
Okay, perfect. Hey, good morning. How many people was there anybody that was on the call? I think it was on Tuesday morning, where I did a morning review on Tuesday morning, TradingPub. Was there anybody on that call? Phil says yes. I'm actually looking at some of these names, and some of them look new. So what I'm going to do actually, so several of you were on. What I'm actually going to do is we do have a recording of that, and I'm going to go ahead and share that recording. So this is a very, very important video, in my opinion, to watch for sure. So a lot of good nuggets and value. So there's the recording of that video from last Tuesday. What I do is I go in and I share with you my morning routine. So a little bit about me. I've been a trader now 4 years, trading all different types of products, and recently started, not recently, about 3 years ago, I started trading Nadex, and for the last 2 years, I've been a full-time trader every single morning for the last 2 years. I've traded tick almost every tick. I've watched and traded almost every tick on the indices every morning for the last 2 years, and I do think that gives me a huge advantage, in my opinion. I think trading is not about how smart you are by any means. Trading is all about just putting in screen time. And so I've put in, I mean, hours upon hours of screen time on charts where, I mean, uh, some of my best learning, my best lessons have been from losing a lot of money, and I'm grateful that I actually went through that period of losing money in the beginning, because it taught me so much, and it's gotten me to where I am today. And so I'm going to share with you guys a little bit about what's going on in the markets now. Is there anybody on the call now that trade indice futures? You can just give me some yes or some no's. So no, quite a few no's. And so, you know, if you're not trading indice futures, I would definitely tell you that you really, 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 really need to start learning them, and not necessarily trading futures. I'm just kind of more talking about, do you trade that futures chart? Do you trade the chart on um, whatever product that you want to trade the chart with? Right? There's several products that you can trade a futures chart with. And so you definitely need to make sure that if you're only trading Forex, you need to make sure that you're expanding your products that you're trading. You can't just only trade Forex. You really have to start branching out into the commodities and into indice futures, in my opinion, is where most real legit traders actually make most of their money. Okay, and so I'm a huge indice futures trader, and I usually use options to trade the futures. Right, I can't remember the last time I've actually traded an actual futures contract. I either trade with traditional options or with Nadex options, and so it gives me a little bit more leverage, and it's just easier to do. Right, I don't need as much money. My risk is controlled. It's a no-brainer to trade the options on the futures chart. So I've been trading the futures, mainly the S&P 500 and the small cap, which is the Russell 2000 for the last 2 years, every single day. And actually, what I do for the last 9 months, I have posted for the last 9 months every single day. I think I've only missed 2 days because I think one of the days I was in Vegas, but I have posted a daily, what I call battle planner, basically a daily trade plan every single night for the last 9 months. So you can kind of see in here my daily trade plans. They're all there every single day for the last 9 months. And so they're usually right around 10 to 15 minutes long. They're not very long, but what it does is I go in here, so you can see from November, and every single day it starts back right around the beginning of March. And so every single day I go in and I share my trade plan and what I'm going to do, and more importantly, what I'm not going to do. I think if you get anything from me, somebody who's been doing this for 2-3 years, some of the biggest value that I give to people is what not to do. There's so many people out there that'll teach you to make money trading. It's actually really easy to make money on trading. It's not that difficult at all. Dog has a strategy to make money on trading. But the second you start learning how not to lose money is when everything will start taking off for you. And there's several things that go in learning how not to lose. And kind of once I figured that out, right, because I can make decent money trading. But in my beginning years, sorry, my beginning months, and so it got very difficult because I would make all this money in a 1 to 2 week period. I would lose it all, and it only took me 2 days to lose it all because I just hadn't grasped the idea of learning how to keep the money and learning how to stay extremely, extremely disciplined. So that video that I just posted back up above, and I'll share this with you just real quick. But every morning when I wake up before the market opens, I read this. And so you can quickly take a screenshot of that, or you can watch that video. You know, some of the things it says in here, it says I'm a disciplined trader. I never trade too big. I'm focused and prepared. You know, I just saw Eben. That's how you say your name? You say you're losing your shirt, right? That used to be me. Eben, I used to never go into the markets. I used to just wake up and I would just come to my desk and just think that, okay, I'm just going to try and make money today. And I never really had a plan in place. I never really understood what was going on. And more importantly, I never got my mind right going into my trading day. I think once I figured out my mind, right, because I could make money. It was just I was just doing stupid things because I wasn't honestly prepared for the trading day. And so now when I wake up, I work out every single morning. Just got done with my workout. I usually do like Insanity or what have you, P90X every single morning. I have a shake. I shower, so I've already showered for the day. And yes, I do work from home in a nice, really home office, but I do get dressed. And so you may be thinking, what is that going to do for me? It has worked wonders for me because I get up and I get to my computer and I'm completely 100% prepared, ready to go for my trading day because I've spent the last hour and a half pretty much waking myself up, getting myself in the mindset to do what we do, guys. Trading is one of the hardest things that as a human that we'll ever go through in our entire lives. The emotions that it takes a toll on us. And if you're not preparing your mindset for this, just prepared to lose a lot of money. I mean, it's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. We've all gone through it. And it's what am I going to do today to make sure that I don't lose money? What am I going to do today? So I switched my mindset going into my morning. It's not going into the morning anymore going, how am I going to make money? It's going into my morning now. It's going in saying, how am I not going to lose money today? Right? And so I think once you switch that mindset, make sure you watch that video that I posted above, and I go into a little bit more detail, right? And so an example, just to kind of show you, I think Cam just posted a picture of me, and that was an old picture. I think I weighed almost 25 pounds more from that picture Cam just showed. Like, there's a recent picture of me, because you may be thinking, Sean, how's it work? I've lost 25 pounds since the picture Cam just showed compared to the one just here. And working out going to do for me in my trading career or what have you, it's done wonders for me. It's given me confidence. It gets me up in the morning, gets my blood flowing. I get my coffee, I get my shake, I take a shower, right? I say affirmations when I'm taking my shower. I think about my day, and it really, really, really has changed everything. So a couple people have mentioned, right, trading, I'm losing my shirt. Everybody goes through it, and it's what are you going to do? Are you actually going to treat this? This is the hardest business, in my opinion, to start, but it's also one of the most rewarding if you figure this thing out. And so too many people come into the markets thinking that this is going to be easy, and it's not. You really got to take the time to learn, and especially somebody with me, and there's several other really good people out there. We do everything we can to speed that learning curve up for you. So I'll kind of dive into some charts here, and I hope that was valuable. But anybody could go in and just share with you charts, right? But and tell you to do this and do that. But I always hammer on, you got to make sure your mindset's ready to go for the day, okay? Or nothing is going to work for you going into your morning. And so I usually trade the slash ES and the small cap 2000, and so these are my two most heavily traded charts, and I usually trade Nadex. Trading these charts here on Thinkorswim, I usually use Nadex to trade them, right? So I don't usually trade futures. I trade Nadex to trade these charts. And I also trade longer term options on Thinkorswim as well. And so one thing that I have learned to do, and it was huge for me, is I actually, when I first started trading, I only traded on a 5-minute chart, like always. Like, I never switched, and I always only traded on a 5-minute chart, and I was losing a lot of money, and then it finally hit me, Sean, you're an idiot. You got to make sure that you're looking at more stuff than just a 5-minute chart. And so one of the things that I have learned to do about it over 2 years ago, and it's worked great for me, is I always start from top-down analysis. I go from a larger time frame. I get really, really good. I get really, really good information from the larger time frames, and then I use that information on the smaller ones. And so, if anybody's been trading the indices, we've been having some pretty decent sell days, right? The market's been trending downwards, right? And so, and somebody may be wondering, what's going on? Where's this coming from? But if you just go in, and I was completely 100% prepared for this move. I mean, it was a no-brainer that obviously we're going to be looking to be a seller this week. It's just a no-brainer. And so one of the reasons why is because when we look at this, here's a weekly chart of the slash ES. Every single Sunday night, I start on a, and as you can tell on this weekly chart, we are extremely what I like to call, not what I like to call, it's what it's called, overbought on a weekly chart, as you can see here. right? Here's all-time highs at 2134. The market has rallied for the last 2 months, and now we're hitting overbought, and you can kind of see my indicators down here are also overbought. And so I knew no ifs, ands, or buts about it was going to be a bear week. It wasn't that difficult to see, right? And obviously you can't trade intraday on a weekly chart, but all you need to do is just glance at it and see, okay, am I overbought or am I oversold? And obviously we're overbought going into Monday. So I knew to make sure to be looking for really, really good sells this week, right? And so you can use that information going into your entire trading day. And I talk about this in my trade plans every single night. And so you can kind of see how we're getting really overbought on the longer term charts. And even on my longer term trades, Anita just mentioned there she trades options. So do I. And so I am actually short some options all the way up here expiring at the end of December, right? And so I'm consistently trading different. I'm right around 22.50. So I have some short spreads up there around 22. All I need to do to make money in December is stay below 22.50, which I don't see a reason why we're not going to. So I also, so again, the weekly chart's usually the largest chart that I'll go off of, and then I start moving my way to the smaller ones. So I consistently always make notes of what's going on the larger time frames, and I'm always staying engaged by trading options, longer term traditional options. And so I am pretty short this market right now. We've had a huge rally on the indices, and I do think that we're heading to start raising rates. And so when rates go up, markets go down. All it is markets are very, very, very cyclical. And I learned that cyclical movement quite a while ago. And so I am absolutely prepared for a bear market. More money is made on a bear market when volatility spikes. I am super, super excited for December because I think it's going to be very volatile. And I'm telling you guys right now, if you're on this call, December should be a huge month for us traders. It should be huge. I'm hopefully that it is. It should be a huge month for traders. More money, again, if you guys remember the sell-off in August here, more money. I talked to several traders around that time. More money was made in August than any other month combined because it was so good. When you get volatility and when you start getting bears taking over charts, that is where all the money is made. And so be prepared. Start learning now because there will be, in my opinion, there's going to be a lot of money to be made in December. I think it's going to get starting to get probably very volatile. We're going to have a lot of talks about raising rates, and the Fed announcement is going to be coming out. And usually December is usually a volatile month anyways, because why? Right? People are starting their year-end closing of their funds. People are trying to lock in gains if there is any, right? And so it creates a volatile market, and I'm really excited. Hopefully it happens. Did that just come out 10 minutes ago, Cam? So it was probably retail sales were probably bad retail sales. So that was probably expected, right? So if anybody trades stocks, some of this, like Macy's, for an example, had really bad sales. I think Macy's, which is the ticker is M. You can see what happened to Macy's. It's falling out of bed right now, right? And so you can see Macy's just, JCPenney's probably tanking right now. I don't actually trade, I actually have never traded an individual stock. I actually never have. I've traded options on stocks, but that was a no-brainer that retail sales were going to be bad. All you needed to do was look at some of the biggest retail stocks. He just mentioned JCPenney's is falling. We can go to a 1-minute chart. Last night, JCPenney's, the only thing is JCPenney's is they did have earnings announcements, and the earnings was actually not bad. So JCPenney's is trying hard to make a comeback. But yeah, if you're a news trader, there's several ways to trade the news. There was a no-brainer that that was going to be bad news. All you had to do is look at some of the retail stocks like Macy's. But quickly looking, I'll go back. Where were we on the ES, and we were on the weekly chart. So we are is extremely. You can kind of see how overbought we are. It's kind of a reversal star, what I like to call. It wasn't going to be difficult to know that the week was going to be a bear week. Okay, now I move over to the daily chart, and you could even see here, it even gives us, I actually have been waiting for this bear move for about 2 weeks, right? So we've had a pretty lot, October was the largest 1 month run since 2011, October was. And so nothing ever keeps going up either. So we were bound to have a bear week. You can see how massively overbought this indicator down here was. I mean, everything, look, everything was telling me to sell, Sean, sell, 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 sell. We're extremely overbought up here. You can see some reversal stars as far as the bulls were absolutely losing control of this chart. And then the entire week, we've just been moving our way, cycling our way back down, right? And so it's been a very good week so far. You can go back. I did take some buys as well this week, so you can actually go back and watch all of my trade plans. They're all posted for free. And so next week, potentially we could be looking for some support coming back into this chart next week. We'll have to find out, right? So I'm always consistently looking. I'm a huge proponent, and I teach this and I hammer this into people, is you have to start looking for what I like to call market structure. Market structure, once I figured out how to look at market structure, excuse me, I got to keep getting my coffee in for the day. But once you figure out how to learn market structure, my trading really took off once I kind of figured that out. And what I mean by that is just using past price to help gauge you of what's going on with the chart. It's just basically looking at price action. And as you can see, we had our low at 1831. The bears tried one more time and they failed to take it lower. Bulls pushed this up for the largest 1 month gain since 2011. And we are now coming back down into what we would like to probably call a daily higher low, right? And so could we potentially start seeing support right around that 2000 to 2020 area for next week? And so you can kind of see how we're building structure here on a daily time frame. I would say our daily chart is still a little bit bullish, right? And so we're going to have to go in next week, starting on Monday and Tuesday and Wednesday. We should be looking for some decent buy triggers back up to the upside on these indice charts. And so, but I'm also, so that's of course getting me prepared, already looking at this chart, it's getting me prepared for the next week. Okay, so I'm already getting prepared for the next week. I take massive amounts of notes. I also mark up my charts a ton. I write so much stuff on my charts. You can go here to drawings and just go here to like text note, and I'll write potential daily higher low support right around 2020 to 2000. 2000 is a huge magnet, and so I'm constantly always looking at market structure, and I'm looking at all time frames so I'm trying to gain an edge in this market, and I almost do it every single evening. You can confirm that in my trade plans. Every single evening I'm finding an edge in this market. I almost never trade off the cuff. Almost literally every single trade has a reason behind it. I can explain to you every single trade that I take. I can take you through and explain the exact reason why I took it. And so if you can't explain if you go back and look at some of your trades, if you can't explain why you took this trade, you shouldn't have taken it in the first place. If it was just like, oh, this arrow told me to buy, right? I mean, that's not going to work. You really have to find out, you really have to start learning how to actually read these markets and how to get an edge and let the market come to you. Once I learned how to let the market come to me where I want it to come, because almost it usually does. If you pick your spots and if you stay patient enough, the market will come to you, and you're going to have just the easiest trade of your life. But too many people force trades that aren't there, and so sometimes I see people will show me some of their trades, and I'm just scratching my head, going, "What are you seeing here? I don't get it." And they're like, "Oh, the MACD curled or the MACD crossed." That's not how trading works. A lot of people, newer people, think that's how it works, but it's not. You really have to make sure that you're picking your spots every single day, and you're doing top-down analysis, and you're letting the market come to you. So I have taken some buys this week. I think Tuesday was a really good buy day, and so now I go. My next chart that I moved to is the 4-hour chart. And so there was that buy day on Tuesday back up to the upside. And then we have been on this bear move. Yesterday, the bears just got after it, right? You can kind of see they definitely tanked this chart all the way back down yesterday. And we are moving into new territory. We're moving into areas of the charts where we haven't been in over a month. We look to the left, there is nothing here, right? And so we are currently moving into an area of the chart where price hasn't been in over a month. So I personally don't like trading areas of the charts that are new, over 2 to 3 to over a month new, right? Because we haven't hit, currently we're at 2038. We haven't been to 2038 in 3.5 weeks, almost a month now, right? And so we are now starting to what I like to call, we are now starting to form price discovery. What do people want to do at this level right here? And so in the beginning of the week, it was actually very easy because we actually had fantastic structure to trade in the beginning of the week. The structure in the beginning of the week was awesome. I love price structure, and I'll show you that here in an example. We have now broken out of structure, and we are now going into next week. We are now going to start building new structure. And so going into today, we don't really have a ton of structure to trade off of, meaning structure is just looking over to the left, and what do we have over to the left that can give us clues of what people want to do at this level? Well, if we look at 2039 and we look over to the left, we have nothing. And so will today for me personally be a huge day? No, not by any means. Today is going to be, for me, it's just going to be it's a bummer that this is happening, but you can go back and watch Tuesdays. I nailed Tuesday's trading day. It was awesome. Tuesday's trading day was fantastic. You can go watch the recording of it. And so, but something that I've learned is when I don't see an edge in the market, there's a lot of times where I don't trade. I don't actually trade every single day. There are some days where I actually don't take trades, because once I've learned that actually cash is a position. And so not taking a trade is a position. And so once I learned that as well, I don't force stuff that's not there, because I've actually made some decent money this week, and there's no reason for me to go in on my Friday and just give all of the money back. I'm sure every single person on this call has made decent amounts of money being a trader on whatever platform you're trading now. But I can almost assure you too that you've probably given it all back, because you did something that you definitely regret, right? And so for me, in my opinion, when I look at this chart, any trades that if I were to take today, if I lose, I'll definitely regret them, okay? Because we're hitting areas on the charts where I don't see a specific edge. So now what I do is now I like going to my 1-hour charts. And so you can see how beginning of the week we had really good, of course we had really good market structure. We had a really good, you can see our bear channel right here. And so this was pretty easy to do. Even I plot it manually. Every single evening I plot the value area for everybody every single evening, and then I share my chart workspace with everybody. And so this was actually very simple. We rallied off of the 2110.25, and you can see this range that we've been in. I mean, this wasn't very hard, right? But then we go into Thursday, and we kind of break some really good support. So notice how we had a bundled up bundle of volume here, support here, support here, support here, and then we break. So we had a really strong breakout on Thursday. I don't pride myself on a breakout trader, but I noticed them. I don't usually trade breakouts. I like to trade structure. So this is what I mean by a structure. Just very simple, very easy. And then when we break out, I then wait until we form new structure, right? And so you can see how easy this I hate using the word easy. You can see how simple this little deal was. It wasn't that hard. I saw it, and I talked about it every single evening. And then we had volume here, we had support here, and we had massive support here. And then on Thursday, we just broke it and took off. And so I have also learned most of the money that I have lost has come from trying to buy falling charts. Most of the money that I have lost has came from me trying to buy falling charts. So most of the money that I have made has came from being a seller. So I love being a seller. I just it's a lot more simpler, and just the psychology of being a seller is better as well, right? Because it's easier to sell greed than it is to buy fear. Buying fear is one of the worst things ever, right? So when charts fall and they fall hard, it induces more selling into the market because people are freaking out because they're losing money. And so the market just keeps falling, and you never really know where it's going to go. But selling greed to the upside is pretty simple because eventually people just start taking their profits. And when people start taking profits, it makes the chart go down. So I love being a seller, and I hate trying to be a buyer on charts that are making new lows. I hate it because I have it written down. I have a ton of notes written down all over my walls from past tumultuous days. I've had some bad days. Some of my biggest losing days have been a little over $1,000. Those days have been because I tried to buy oversold charts, thinking that this was going to be it. This was going to be the bottom, and it wasn't. So it's very difficult to know where the bears are going to stop. When you have structure, it's pretty easy to be a buyer. When they come into areas of the charts where you look to the left and it's held several times, and that gives me so much confidence. But now we're coming into areas of the chart, so let's look to the left. We got nothing over here. Nothing. So I have no idea how people are going to react to this today. And so if I take any trades this morning or today, they're going to be quite a bit smaller than what I usually trade. There's not a beautiful edge on this chart unless somebody else can show me something. I'd love to see it. Okay. Yes, we are overbought, but we've hit new areas on the chart, and so in my opinion, next week should be a really good week. It should be a fantastic week because we'll more than likely rally and we'll have several sell triggers to sell. I see no reason why we're not going to rally, and then we're just going to continue to sell it back down. It's not going to be very difficult next week. Okay, and so going into today, if you have, please, I can see all of your questions as well. So please type your questions, and then I then move over to my 15-minute chart. Our 2033 is that bubble right there is a new 5-day low. And so if I can give you any tips, trying to think that you're going to be able to buy new 5-day low bubbles has cost me a lot of money. And so if I were to buy this chart today, the only way that I could possibly buy this chart is the price does have to rally back up just a little bit, and then the bears have to try one more time, and then they have to fail to take it lower than the last 5-day low bubble, and then I can buy right there. So just when the retail sales came out, we hit a new 5-day low bubble at 2033 and a quarter. Sorry, 2033 and a half. So we continue to go lower and go lower. So I still can't buy this chart because I have no idea what these bears want to do. I also can't sell this chart either. Currently where it is, I can't buy it and I can't sell it either. There's nothing that I can do right here because I don't see an edge. My sell zones, if you watch my trade plan that I can post for you, my sell zones aren't until here or here. So I'll go ahead and post that for you so you can watch that for today. But we are way below value. We're hitting new 5-day lows. And so thinking that you can be cute and trying to buy this, you could get yourself in a lot of trouble because you really have no idea where the bottom is because we just keep making new ones. But the second that we rally off, well, you can maybe say on a 5 or a 15-minute chart today, I can still look for buys, but we need to rally and then hold the pullback and make sure that we're not making a new 5-day low bubble. And then I can quickly enter right there for a quick little, if you're trading Nadex, usually I'll try and trade as close to at the money as I can, and then I take my profits early. So I'm always looking for where I can get an edge in this market. Where price is currently, in my opinion, there's no edge for me. There's no edge for me. This is gambling. If I try and trade right now, it's 100% gambling, in my opinion. New 5-day lows. We're just kind of stuck in an area of the chart where price hasn't been in over a month. And so in my opinion, this is just straight up gambling. I always wait for the price to come to me. And so, but this is only one chart. I still have gold, I still have crude, and I still have all of my Forex charts. But I thought what I would do this morning is a lot of people, like even had mentioned, I'm losing my shirt. And it's, are you doing a really good analysis on your charts? And if you don't see an edge, you have to move on. You can't just stick on one chart the entire day and think, okay, well, I haven't gotten a trade on today, so let's just go ahead and do this one, right? And so, and the thing is if I don't make a trade today, no big deal. The market's not going anywhere. And so I quickly wanted to show slash TF as well. So we've had perfect structure on slash TF for about 2 weeks that I've been killing this chart. Look at the structure that we have formed on a 1-hour chart, slash TF, which is the small cap 2000. Look at the structure that we formed. This was beautiful. I killed the slash TF the last 2 weeks. And I talked really heavily about this zone, this area right here, plants, 1174 to 1176. So I had been a buyer right around this level several times the last 2 weeks. I had also been a seller several times up here. So this was a beautiful structure that we had formed. And then on Thursday, check this out. We had our support here. Look how this held 6 times. 6 times. 1174 to 1176 had held. And you can even go back on Tuesday's trade plan. And on Tuesdays when I did this, I posted the video. I bought right here on Tuesday. It came down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times. It came down on Tuesday, and then I bought this all the way back up to the upside. You can go back on Tuesday morning's TradingPub when I did this. I just posted that video, and you can see exactly how I did that. Very awesome, and an 80% rolled all the way back up to the upside. Okay. Now it was very crucial that on Thursday we broke 1175 and we just took off to the downside. I mean, Thursday was just full head of steam. We broke it and just took off. I wish I could say that I got in on this huge move down and I made a lot of money, but I didn't. I won't lie to you. I only made a little bit. I wasn't quite sure exactly what that wanted to do, but I only made just a little bit on that move down. I am more of a structure trader. I like this stuff because it's very easy, very simple. But there is people who make a lot of money on breakouts. I'm not one of them. The only thing is that I'm really good at noticing when they happen, and then I then will wait for next week until we start forming a new structure. The thing about the TF though is that we're actually hitting areas of the charts where price, the last time we were here wasn't that long ago. It was only about 10 days ago. So notice that 1152 to right around 1150, this area of the chart held only about 10 days ago. So this isn't that long. So all this chart is doing, it's coming down into areas of the charts. When we look to the left, price has been here before. So we do actually still have structure on this TF chart. So I actually way prefer the Russell chart over the ES one because the structure is quite a bit better. I can look to the left and see that people do kind of like this 1150 area. And so if I were to take a buy trade today, I do think this TF chart is going to be the better play. And so, but same thing, we just hit a new 5-day low at 1147 and 0.3 when the news came out. And so I can't buy this chart until the bulls rally just a little bit. The bears try one more time to take it lower and they fail. So this needs to come up and they need to fail to take it lower, and then I can look to enter a quick buy trade, and more than likely they're going to want to take it right back up to value area low right there. So that's something I'm going to be watching for today, but I have to wait for my higher low to enter. I can't enter right now because we're making new 5-day lows. I've lost too much money trying to do that, and so I don't do it anymore. You'll more than likely see your 5-day low on your higher low on a 5-minute chart. This could rally up. Watch these bears try to take it lower. Watch them fail, and you can enter right here. So if you want to trade at the money, you can trade a spread, and then more than likely they're going to want to take it right back to settlement. You can take profits, or they're going to want to take it right here to value area low. So I've already gotten my targets for the morning. I know exactly where these bulls are going to take this chart. It's a no-brainer. All I have to do though is wait to find my entry. Okay, there's no way that I can enter now. Absolutely no way. We got about 25 minutes before the market opens, so I will wait for the market to open. People are digesting that retail news, and so I need to make sure that these bears, I need to make sure that they fail to take it lower than whatever this bubble is going to be. We could form another one, and then I just have to wait another hour, right? So I consistently wait for the chart to come to me, and then more than likely they're going to want to take, these bulls are going to want to take it back up to settlement, or they're going to want to take it back up right here to value area low. So we already have targets to the upside, and if we continue to make new 5-day lows, then I don't have a trade on this chart today. I just don't have a trade. I'll have to look at Forex. I'll have to look at gold or crude, but I never, ever, it's posted on my wall. It's actually in huge block letters. It says, do not buy new 5-day lows. And the only reason it says that is because I've lost quite a bit of money trying to do it. So I don't do it anymore. So I'm going to wait for these charts to prove that they're done going lower, and then we should have a safe entry, and we should know exactly where these bulls want to take this chart. So is there any questions for me? Anything you want to see? I can quickly look at gold and crude, see what they're doing. I don't trade a ton of gold and crude. Anita, I appreciate that. And so I think if more people just took a little bit more time with their charts, a lot of stuff will start happening for you. An example, when I used to trade back in the day, I would just wake up and just look at 5-minute charts, not really knowing what's going on, right? And I would just try and trade based off of indicators, where I don't really do that anymore. Gold, so retail is going to affect gold heavily. So a lot of dollar news will affect gold. And you can see on a 15-minute chart, let's move to normal candles, which you guys are normal to. We had a huge spike up. Let's actually move to a 1-minute chart. I mean, here's the deal with this. I wish I could say that I'm a guru and I know exactly how to make money during news and I make thousands of dollars during news announcements. I don't. I wish I could say I'm just not a trader who likes to trade news. I think it's very difficult. Yes, you can make a lot of money trading news, but you can also lose it just as fast. And so if you notice how I like to trade really simple things. I like to trade really simple charts. You kind of saw some of my analysis that I do. It's not very difficult. Just look for some good structure. In my opinion, look what happened when the news came out. We had a spike all the way up to the upside. It hit value area high. It hit a couple POCs, plus 0.5 deviation, and then we just rallied all the way down and we filled value to the downside. So the thing with this is you got to be so quick with your trades on smaller time frames that it's very difficult. And so I don't make a ton of money on news announcements. So basically what I would do is I just start on the 4-hour chart. Gold just continues and continues to move lower and lower and lower. And so I actually haven't traded gold in a while. One of the biggest reasons why is because the structure just isn't as good. So you can see how every single time I think it's going to stop and it doesn't. It just continues to go lower and go lower. So I haven't been doing a very good job on my analysis on gold as far as where price is going to stop because I have no idea. I am ridiculously accurate on the indices, but when it comes to gold or crude or some other charts, I honestly have no idea. And so I don't know where the bottom of this gold is. And so haven't made a ton of trades on gold. Crude continues to trend lower as well. I drive a truck, so I actually love seeing that it continues to go lower just because of gas prices, right? It continues to go lower, and I haven't made a ton of trades on crude either. So if we look at a 4-hour chart on crude, the structure for a while there on crude was really, really good. I remember trading crude right around here. So I killed crude here. This was beautiful. We did spike up. I did not catch that sell there. And then I haven't traded it the last month though. So when it's just kind of coming down, every time I think we're gonna rally and we don't. So I really don't know what's going on with crude. I don't follow it that much. I killed crude here because this was awesome. Look at that structure that crude had built. This is beautiful. We did break up to the upside. I have not continued to trade crude for a while because I've been so busy with the indices. But for the most part, I can't imagine that crude is not going to rally back up sometime. It has to. I mean, we're hitting areas of the charts now where it has to start rallying soon. And then for me, what I like to do is I like being a seller on crude. So I need this to rally back up so that I can find my sell triggers. I'm really really nervous and cautious of trying to buy crude. And being a crude trader, it's very, very profitable. It can be because it's very volatile, but it's also very, it moves just as fast against you as well. So you need to be prepared for that. Whereas the indices move a little bit smoother. You don't make a ton of money fast, but you also don't lose that money fast. So for me, I'm trying to hit base hits almost every single day. Base hits, maybe a couple doubles. Do I sell options on crude? I do. So I usually trade USO, which is the crude. It's the crude ETF. So I'll trade USO. Yes, I've been pretty short on crude options on USO. I'm thinking soon though of getting long again. So on my weekly chart here, I'm thinking of getting long again on USO. Okay, because we had our low here at 37.75, which is that's a how low is that? That's a 5-year low. And on our weekly chart, you can kind of see that we're kind of coming down. And so let's actually go to USO. That's the chart that I trade. We're kind of coming down. I can't imagine that we're not going to at least try and find some buyers right around this 13 mark. So I am trying to look to get long again on USO. Haven't done it yet though, but that's something that's on my watch list. But yes, I do trade options on crude. It's quite a bit easier to be a longer term trader on crude than a short term one. Any other questions? Anything you want to look at? Can be anything. I trade a bunch of stuff.
Hey,
So
Sean, can you
anything
hear
that
me?
Yep.
Hey, so we got a couple minutes left here. Can you tell people about the Binary Trade Group and the services you offer and what a typical day looks like at the Binary Trade Group?
For sure. So I do specialize in teaching people Nadex. I do think Nadex is an awesome platform to learn how to trade. I want it to be, definitely be one of the catalysts to grow Nadex. I love it. And so one things that we do here, you can actually go to our website at binarytradegroup.com. We teach everything for free. So currently, I really don't even sell anything currently. And so I literally give everything away for free. You can enter your name here. I teach all of my trainings and everything you just saw, what I taught there, my chapters, it's all free. We also, from what I have seen in the marketplace, we're the only ones to offer free Nadex trainings. So we'll do anywhere from 30 minutes to an hour with you one-on-one, 30 minutes to an hour teaching you Nadex. And I think from what I've seen, I think we're the only ones that'll do that. So if you're struggling with Nadex, we do it for free. We'll teach you everything you want just on a one-on-one basis. More than likely, it'll be with Ryan Smith, who lives in Kansas City. He handles most of the people who come in and just want to learn for free. He'll help you out. He's awesome. One thing that I do is we do have a chat room. There's about 100 of us, over 100 of us in there, and we're always trading together, giving each other ideas. I do webinars. Try and do webinars once a week. I do give you guys my Thinkorswim workspace every single evening. So what I do is I go in here and I save all of these charts, all of these plots. They work amazingly. I promise you, get in here for a month and you're going to be blown away by what you can do with these free charts, right? Too many people think it's the indicators holy grail. That's really just learning how the market moves. You're going to be blown away by how it works. It's awesome. Daily trade plans every single evening. I basically tell you to the tick. It is nuts. Get in here for a month. To the tick, I tell you where to buy and where to sell. Literally almost to the tick every single day. So I tell you exactly what to do, and more importantly, I tell you what not to do, and I post those every evening. And I tell you basically how to do this. I give you analysis so that every morning you come into your trading day, you know exactly what to do and what not to do. The biggest thing that I also think that I offer is I do mentoring. So one thing that I took, I played college basketball for 4 years, so I come from a sports background, and I loved watching game film. Like I just loved watching game film. I lived in the film room watching myself and how could I get better. And so one of the best things that I think is I allow people real quickly. So what I do is I record almost everything that I do. I record it, and so in the beginning when I first started trading, I would record myself trading, and then I'd go back and watch myself. I would talk to myself. I have a bunch of videos on YouTube of me trading live so that you can see how I do it. But what I do is I I tell people to record themselves trading, send it to me, and then we'll hop on one-on-ones together and I'll help you get better. Show me what you're doing on a day in and day out basis. Record it. Record your entire day. I'll watch it and then we'll get on one-on-ones and I'll help you. So Anita, Nadex is an exchange. Nadex is just a place where you can place trades through an exchange. They're just like binary they're just like, it sounds like you trade traditional options, and so it's very similar to traditional options. It's just like trading a spread on traditional options, but they're daily and hourly spreads. And so an example, you can go in here to indice binaries. Here's the US 500, and then there are options that last. These expire in 41 minutes. These options here expire in an hour and 41 minutes, and then we're going to get another one, and then you have dailies. And so what this basically is, Anita, is it says here US 500 greater than 2040 by 415. It's basically just a spread contract in a traditional option sense. So you can buy this for $45, and everything is 0 to 100. And your max profit would be 54 and your max loss would be 45.50. All you need to do is stay above 2040 by the end of the day and you'll make money. That's it. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. Stay above 2040 by the end of the day and you'll make money. And so we teach Nadex for free. You can actually go into my website, and I think this is probably one of the most popular Nadex trainings. But you can go into my website and click on Nadex Made Simple. And what I do is I take my wife, her name is Megan, she's awesome. I take my wife, A through Z, on exactly how Nadex works. She's not a trader. She has no idea what the heck Nadex is or what the heck binary options are. I take her exactly from A to Z on how Nadex works. So you can watch me take on how Nadex works. No problem, Anita.
Okay, Sean. Well, listen, we've had about an hour and 20 minutes for this webinar, and honestly, I could listen to you talk for another hour. I think your analysis is spot on. The way you take a look at the structure in the markets, where you like to trade from, the areas of support and resistance you plot, your value areas. I've been following this for quite some time, and it just makes sense to me. And people that follow Sean in his room usually echo the same sentiments. Are there any members of Sean's group in this webinar right now? I know Linda was up there earlier. I saw her. Anyway, when you go to binarytradegroup.com, you got a 2-week trial, and you can see Sean's battle plan. You can get one-on-one training. All of the stuff that Sean talks about today, you're exposed to every single day to help you make decisions on how to trade binary options or spreads, or maybe it can help you with trading that you currently do. Sean, I want to thank you so much for making another guest appearance this week at the Trading Pub. He was on Tuesday, and he was kind enough to come back, and certainly look forward to seeing you in the future. And for everyone else, the week is wrapping up. I hope you all have a great weekend and successful trading. This is Cam White at the Trading Pub.